Hello, it's Ken. Here again with my one of my top fives. This time it's Roxy music. Probably seen my collection if you're paying attention to me in any way. And bless you for that. Um, these are my top five. Again, as always with this, if you disagree, put your top fives in the comments. Say what you like. This is my top five, and now I'm going to push on now. Starting at number five is the last album, studio album, Roxy done, and this is Avalon. Uh, and the last three albums are like almost like a different band for me in some ways, and you'll have your opinions on that. Um, Avalon is a very smooth rock album. Uh, it's exemplary for that. Uh, but it's almost like I hope it's somebody who agrees with me. It's almost like a different band who produced the first set of albums up until um, up until Siren. So that's Avalon. That's in at number five. There's some great tracks on here. More than this kicks it off. Um, it's as I said, it is smooth rock, which obviously Brian went on to perfect and in his solo albums. So that's Avalon. That's in at number five. At number four, this might shock you. Uh, this is the debut album, probably one of along with the Doors. I want to say perhaps one of the best debut albums ever. Um, it's sensational, really. But in my top five, it's at number four. Um, Brian Eno's Anya. He's on the first two albums. More of him a bit later. As with all Roxy albums, they got covers of models on the front, suggesting a certain sort of lifestyle, I guess. Um, this is this at the time. Some of this was termed as sort of glam rockish. I think it lasted. Now, if you listen to it, it's there's only one way to describe it. And it's Roxy music, and this is the self-titled first album. Um, there's some great tracks on here, but for me, it's in at number four. So that's Roxy music. In at number three, and this is odd in some ways, so my favourite track by Roxy music is on here, A Song for Europe. This is Stranded. It's again adorned model on the cover. There's lots of strong tracks on here. Song for You, I said, is my favourite, is on, yeah. So why am I placed higher? You're probably thinking. The next two albums have got even stronger albums, stronger tracks for me, and stand out as a more listenable album. The Sam and stuff is on here. There's some great tracks. It's tough. This could easily on another day be even number one. That's Stranded. And that's number three. Now we're going to move to number two, and it was a close call because I am listening to this. I've listened to this a few times in the last few days, just to refresh my memory. This is Country Life. This, and I think as with all albums for me anyway, this was brought at a pivotal time in life. 1974, 75, 76 are really important musical years for me. A lot of my favourite albums are albums from that year, and I'm sure it's to do with being a teenager and listening to some of these songs. But listening back this yesterday, it is a fantastic song. There's such a variety of songs on there. It's a development from the first two albums. It's the fourth album, which were conveniently on a lot of the rocks. Well, the first set of Roxy music albums, and it says like the fourth, the third on the back to give you some understanding if you're flipping through the LPs in the record shop at the time, I guess. All I Want Is You is the single that came out at the time is on here, and Casanova is on here. That's another favourite track of mine. There's The Thrill of It All. It's not a weak track on here for me. Prairie Rose finishes the album up. It's one of my favourite albums, let alone it's probably my top 15 albums I got. So that's at number two. This is Country Life. Number one, it'd be no surprise, it's on the wall behind me. That's the original version I bought back in the 70s, and this is the new remastered deluxe edition vinyl, heavyweight vinyl. Strangely, and I think I've said this in the collection, I got 4 of these, 4 of them. And 4 of them in the top 5. So they're slightly bigger than normal LPs, so they don't fit in those plastic covers they've got, which is slightly annoying, but probably won't last as well. Fantastic cover. This is For Your Pleasure. It's got every dream I want to take. A song about a blow up doll, really pushing the envelope at the time for strangeness. And it's a superb album, I think. The Bogus Man. There's lots of great tracks on it. For Pleasure itself, the title track, and that's my number 1 Roxy Music album today. As I said, any of the top 3 they rotate, I think, and sometimes even the on another day the number 4, the Virginia Plain, and then a point on that, obviously Virginia Plain, sorry, Roxy Music. I get my words mixed up here a bit this morning. Virginia Plain is not on there, and Pajama Rama wasn't on this either. They were the singles at the time. A bit Beatless, they're not putting singles on albums. On some of the CDs later, the Virginia Plain sneaks onto the Roxy Blues in. So that's number 1. That's For Your Pleasure. This has been Roxy Music's Top 5. I'm Ken. I'll see you again.